Hello there and welcome to the Squirrelhead YouTube channel, and this is the match review of the Liverpool versus Chelsea game, which ended 1-1 apiece. They shared the points at the end of the day, and I'm going to try and take you through maybe not some key points, but I think just maybe some little bits of feelings of disappointment, but also maybe a bit of positive as well, because let's look at it on the whole face of the whole game. I do think that Liverpool played quite well as a team. Now, I think obviously up until the 85th minute when Willian scored his shot cross, or Schross as it's being called online, I think until that point, I think that we did play quite well. We were having a bit more of the possession, having more chances, but I think the telling thing here is that over the course of the whole game, we had 13 shots, 2 on target. And 2 on target throughout a whole game like that just isn't good enough, especially when you're coming up against someone like Chelsea. Now, obviously those things like, players of theirs getting in the way and stuff like that and saves happening, yeah, that's fine. That's absolutely not a problem because they've got quality players up and down the pitch as well. However, if you're going to have that many shots, you may need to make sure that you're going to have the right players on the pitch. And for me, I don't understand why if Sadio Mane, for instance, could come on late on in the game, and I'm talking 88 minutes, Sadio Mane comes on along with Adam Lallana. He makes his return for Liverpool and gets a brief couple of minutes there as well. But if you've got someone like Mane, who before the game, along with Firmino, was rumoured to be injured and out of the game, except they were on the bench, how can they, why can they then make a late appearance? And Firmino didn't, to be fair, but obviously Sadio Mane does. And Sadio Mane, last year, was our main danger man, obviously before we got the fireball that is Mohamed Salah. Now, having the two of them against Chelsea could have been completely different. Chelsea are a big team and one of our big rivals in the top 4 race. Now, obviously, I'm looking at it from a Liverpool point of view, and I'm thinking, for this season, Liverpool have to be in the top 6. And that sounds quite negative because people will think, whoa, we're not, you'd settle for the Europa League. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't settle for it, but we've got to stay in that top 6, in and around, and get as many points as we can from the teams around us. And today, I thought that was a perfect chance to do it. Why? Because Chelsea, on this game, I was quite worried about it. Because I think the last 2 games before us, in the Champions League and one in the Premier League as well, they won 4-0 both times. So it looked like they were coming in on fire, whereas we'd beaten Southampton 3-0 and we were looking good. We were 3-0 up against Sevilla and it was all good, and then we squandered a lead and we managed to draw that game 3-3. Also could have lost that game late on as well if they weren't offside. There's a lot of different things. So for me, the momentum for Liverpool, it wasn't in our favour, but we were doing okay. They've got quality on the break. When you've got someone like Eden Hazard, who and frigging Drinkwater at times as well, never mind Hazard, was just able to stroll through most of our midfield pretty much at will and able to get shots off, or at least become a danger and put pressure on the defence. And that's the defence, not the defence, sorry, the midfield was weak today, in my opinion. I thought that the midfield was pretty weak. And it is not being led very well by Henderson at the moment. Now, whether that means is he on low confidence or anything like that, I'm not sure. But that combination of having Henderson and Milner in there didn't work, in my opinion. Did not work. And I think they've got to try and look at something of maybe, is it going to be Henderson, Emre Can, Wijnaldum, Milner, Emre Can, Wijnaldum? What is that going to be? What is that trio going to be if they're going with the 3 in midfield? Because they have got to be absolutely dynamic. They've got to be on it. Obviously, people are now seeing Naby Keita scoring goals for RB Leipzig, and they wish they'd bought him this summer, and obviously we wish we'd bought him as well. But anyway, we didn't. We've got to wait another year. Yeah, we've got to wait until the summer transfer window for him to come along. We've got to deal with what we've got right now, at least up until January. But I don't expect January signings. That's another topic for another day, though. Let's focus on this match. Mohamed Salah, second half. I'm skipping to the second half because the first half almost put me to sleep. There were a couple of chances, but very few and far between for both sides. Second half comes and we looked a bit more on it. We were getting more chances, getting Mohamed Salah in and around that box a bit more, and he was doing very well. Any of our chances in the first half were coming through Salah anyway. So he was just basically continued what he was doing in the first half. And I think it was quite fortunate. I can't remember who the knock-on came from that actually put Salah through to score the goal, but it was literally like a sliding tackle pass, literally on the floor. He gets it and he slots it, passes it past Thibaut Courtois, however you say that name. I nearly messed that one up then. And it was 1-0, and we were looking good. We were looking good, but all it takes is a moment of madness or a moment of quality. I'm still not entirely sure which one this is with Willian. But Willian goes in, and it literally, for me, it just looks like they've been putting crosses in quite a lot. Obviously, they've got Morata on the pitch, who's got one hell of a header. And it just, to me, it looked, at the start, it looked like it was a standard cross. But then, it just dipped in. And I'm like, I didn't expect that myself. And quite clearly, neither did Simon Mignolet, so, because he didn't save it. I can't remember if he got like a fingertip or something to it. I'm not sure, but the fingertips weren't enough. And it went in the back of the net, and it's 1-1 on 85 minutes. We had a couple of chances near the end. Sadio Mane's come on at this point. Lallana's come on as well. Too little, too late. And I think that's another problem that I think a lot of Liverpool fans are having at the moment is the substitutions. The substitutions for Liverpool, to actually turn and change a game, get made too late. Now, obviously, I think we brought Wijnaldum on a little bit earlier, but then to make the two final changes, as they were, I think it was to take... No, Wijnaldum came on for Sturridge, and then Mane and Lallana came on. I can't remember who came off, but I know Coutinho came off. Anyway, regardless of that, they came on too late. They're not going to get the time to make the impact that they could have had. Say if they come on in the 80th minute, you get a little bit more dynamism and stuff like that. Hell, you might have actually been able to even prevent Chelsea scoring from Willian. Who knows? These things could have been prevented by having maybe the substitutions come on a little bit earlier, not trying to use the substitutions as a late reaction to get a 2-1 victory. Instead, we've had to settle for a 1-1 draw, and that is something that is becoming a bit of a present thing with Klopp. And I remember us having similar sort of things with Benitez back in the day. Certainly not comparing the two managers that before anyone starts. Yes, they were both Liverpool managers, obviously, but there was a pattern where, like years ago when we had Benitez and people knew by about 65th, 70th minute, Benitez is going to make his changes. And to be fair, other clubs have had it as well. You sometimes see Arsenal fans and such like that know that Wenger doesn't make changes and stuff before a certain time in the match, unless something's going direly wrong. And it does become a bit of a pattern, and it's a pattern that has to be changed, in my opinion. I think if there's a way of us feeling too comfortable in a game. Now, when we went 1-0 up, we were still threatening, but by that point, and I think Wijnaldum had come on as well, and they put Salah up top. By that point, it's sort of saying, yeah, we're a bit comfortable here, we're a bit comfortable. And I think when you become comfortable in the game, that is also one of the times when you become most vulnerable. One of the other times is when you've just scored, but we rode that out for a good while. The second time is obviously if you become a bit too comfortable. And it looked like we were just happy to sort of rain out and ride out a 1-0 victory, and that just obviously wasn't enough. So that maybe has to be something that has to be changed in the future. Bring those substitutions on a little bit earlier, especially someone like Mane. You give Mane 3 minutes, not going to be able to do a lot. He might be able to do something, but you give him 15 minutes, he's going to be able to do something. He's going to be able to connect with the attackers a lot more, and he's going to get a lot more time on the ball. He's going to be able to become much more of a threat. You give him the time to do so, and that's what we should be doing, and we're not doing that right now. So we've had to settle for a point. I haven't talked a great deal about Chelsea, to be fair, but they were pretty much the same as us. I think it was a fair result at the end of the day, having a draw, while I don't like the fact that we conceded the goal that we did. But it was two teams that are in the top 6, they're in the top 4. We could have actually... No, we couldn't have took them over, but we could have actually took over Tottenham. We could have gone 4th tonight if we'd won the game, and I think they are 3rd, so we would have been a point behind Chelsea, I think. So we would have actually been right in that conversation of the top 4. We could have been sitting in the top 4 at the end of this, match day. But it is what it is. We're sat in 5th, they're sat in 3rd. Tottenham are just above us. Arsenal play tomorrow, and they could also go above us. We could end up going down to 6th. But hey, that's another day, and that's not a concern right now. Let's just live in the fact that we've got a draw, we've got a point against Chelsea. Could have been more, should have been more. We need to be more proactive, I think, in substitutions and such like that as well. What do you guys think? Let me know about your thoughts in the comments below. I've waffled on for a long time, so I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go have some food, chill out, relax, and watch some movies. So, let me know what you think in the comments below. Please do drop a like on this video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. Please, honestly, get your thoughts, comments, everything that you think. Whether you're a Liverpool fan, a neutral, or a Chelsea fan, get it in the comments below. Let's have a discussion. Let's just talk about it. It's football at the end of the day. Thank you ever so much for watching this video, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch you later.